Good morning, students. Welcome to chemistry class. This is Vivian Raju presenting the today's lesson. Today's topic is the separation of components of a solid liquid mixture and a liquid liquid mixture. Now let us go to the topic. In the previous class, we discussed the separation of components of a solid-solid mixture by using several methods. Let us discuss the separation of a solid liquid mixture. These are of two types: separation of insoluble solid from a liquid and separation of soluble solid from a liquid. Let us discuss the methods of separation of insoluble solid from a liquid first. One of the methods available is sedimentation and decantation. This method is based on the difference in the weights of the components of the mixture. The heavier components of the mixture settle at the bottom of the container in which liquid is kept. Sand from water can be separated by this method. The solid that settles at the bottom is called the sediment, and the clear liquid above is called the supernatant liquid. During sedimentation, the heavier coarse particles settle down quickly. Fine particles of clay settle down very slowly. The finer particles can be made to settle faster by dissolving a small quantity of alum in muddy water. This method is called loading. When alum is added to muddy water, the finer particles get loaded with alum particles and form larger aggregates. This makes them settle down faster. The process by which the supernatant liquid is transferred to another container, leaving the sediments behind, is called the decantation. The process of sedimentation and decantation is shown in this figure. The smaller particles of solid are allowed to settle down at the bottom, and the supernatant liquid is separated from the sediment by transfer of the liquid carefully into another container. Next, second method is filtration. This method is used for separating fine insoluble solid particles from a liquid. The mixture is allowed to pass through a filter. A filter is a medium with fine pores. Pores means holes. The insoluble solid particles are retained by the filter and is known as residue, and the clear liquid is collected as filtrate. For good filtration, the pores in the filter should be smaller than the size of the particles to be removed. The process of filtration is shown in this picture. A mixture of water and sand can be separated by using a filter paper. The residue remains in the filter paper, and the clear liquid obtained in the vessel is called filtrate. Another method available is centrifugation. The particles of solid suspended in the liquid are made to settle down under the influence of centrifugation force. The mixture containing the suspended particles is rotated at a high speed in a centrifuge. The heavier particles settle down to the bottom of the container. This method is used to separate cream from milk and to make the suspension to settle down at the bottom of the container in laboratories and in industries. The process of the separation of cream from milk or curd is shown in this figure. By churning the milk, the cream will be separated from the milk. The process which is used in the laboratories is shown in these figures. This figure shows a manual centrifuge machine operated by manually. The third figure is shown the automatic centrifuge machine works with electricity. Both are used in laboratories. In the industries, the same kind of large machines are used to separate the suspensions from the liquid. When this wheel is rotated, the test tubes attached to this centrifuge rotate with high speed and the larger particles move to the bottoms of these test tubes and the liquid remains at the top. So after the fine particles are settled at the bottom, the liquid at the top can be removed. You might have seen this kind of centrifuge in a milk chilling center or in a milk collecting center. Next, separation of soluble salt from a liquid. A soluble salt can be separated from a liquid by a process known as evaporation. Evaporation is used to recover solid substance from its solution. Evaporation can be made quicker by heating the solution. You know that evaporation takes place even at room temperature, but the process can be made quicker by heating the solution. Common salt can be separated from seawater by evaporation. See this evaporation. A salt solution is taken in an evaporation dish, and when it is heated, the water leaves the solution quickly and the salt remains in the evaporating dish. Water gets evaporated and salt remains in the evaporation dish. Another process available to separate a soluble solid from liquid is crystallization. This method is used for obtaining a pure crystalline substance from its solution. A solution is an impure sample. Common salt is obtained from seawater by evaporation followed by crystallization. The crystals are separated from mother liquid. The salt solution is evaporated to a certain concentration by heating. If this solution is allowed to cool, crystals of salt are formed. See the formation of salt from seawater in the first picture. Farmers prepare the salt from seawater by making the seawater get evaporated by the effect of solar energy. When the concentration reaches to a certain value, the crystals get separated from the solution and the mother liquid is passed to the drains. The second picture shows the crystallization of copper sulfate in the laboratory. A supersaturated solution of copper sulfate is made. When this solution is allowed to cool, copper sulfate crystals are formed in the container. These crystals can be separated from the liquid either by decantation or by filtration. Another method available for the separation of a soluble salt from a liquid is distillation. The solid and liquid components of a solution can be obtained by this method. In the evaporation, only solid is collected and liquid is discarded. But if you want to collect the liquid component also, the distillation process is useful. The solid and liquid components of a solution can be obtained by this method. On heating the solution of a solid in liquid in the distillation flask, the solid remains behind and liquid evaporates or vaporizes. The vapors, when cooled, condense to give the pure liquid. The liquid is then collected in a receiver. Pure water from salt solution can be obtained by this process. In the Gulf countries, pure water is obtained from seawater by this method. The process of distillation is shown in this figure. A distillation flask which contains salt water. When heated to a certain temperature just above 100 degrees Celsius, water changes to vapor state. These vapors are allowed to pass through the condenser. The cold water circulates through this condenser to cool down the vapors. The vapors are condensed and are collected in a separate container. In the industries, the same process takes place in large quantities, that is, in the separation of pure water from seawater. Next, separation of liquid-liquid mixtures. These are of two types. One is the separation of two immiscible liquids and another one is the separation of two miscible liquids. Let us see the separation of components of an immiscible liquid-liquid mixture. One of the processes available is by using separating funnel. This technique is based on the principle that the lighter liquid floats on the top of heavier liquid due to the difference in their densities and due to the property of immiscibility. An emulsion of oil and water can be separated by using separating funnel. An emulsion is a mixture of two liquids in which one liquid finally divides into droplets and are distributed in the other liquid. When this mixture is allowed to settle, the two components of the mixture get separated. The lighter component floats on the heavier component. The emulsion is taken in a separating funnel and is allowed to settle for some time. Once the layers are separated, the liquid at the bottom is allowed to fall in another container by opening the stopcock. As soon as the liquid forming the lower layer is transferred, the stopcock is closed immediately. The liquid forming the upper layer is collected in a different container from the separating funnel. This process is shown in the adjacent figure. A separating funnel contains two different immiscible liquids like kerosene and water. Kerosene doesn't mix with water. Kerosene is lighter than water. Because of that, it floats on water. We can see the boundary which separates the two immiscible liquids. Here is the stopcock. Once the layers are separated, if the stopcock is opened, the liquid at the bottom passes through this funnel and is collected in a container. When the bottom layer crosses this stopcock, the stopcock is closed immediately and the kerosene will be collected in a separate container. In this way, two immiscible liquids can be comfortably separated by using a separating funnel. By decantation. Decantation is nothing but the careful transfer of a liquid from one container to another container. When two immiscible liquids are taken in a container, the upper layer of the immiscible liquid can be carefully transferred to another container to separate the two immiscible liquids. This is shown in the figure. The upper layer is carefully transferred to another container. Next, the separation of two miscible liquids. Two miscible liquids form a solution. The method available to separate two miscible liquids is distillation. This technique is based on the principle that the different liquid components of the mixture possess different boiling points. That is, they change to vapor state at different temperatures. When the mixture is heated to a temperature just to cross the boiling point of component which has the lower value, that is lower boiling point, the component changes to vapor state. These vapors are passed through a condenser and that component will be collected in a container in the liquid state. The component possessing the higher boiling point remains in the distillation flask. A mixture of two liquids possessing the difference in the boiling points more than 25 degrees Celsius can be separated by this method. So, in order to separate two liquids which have a large difference in the boiling points, the distillation method is useful. Acetone with boiling point 56 degrees Celsius and water boiling point 100 degrees Celsius can be separated by this method from their mixture. acetone and water can be separated from the mixture of acetone and water by distillation. The process of distillation is shown here. A mixture of acetone and water is taken in the distillation flask. The distillation flask is attached to a water condenser. The water circulates through this passage in the condenser. The mixture of two liquids is heated. In this mixture, acetone boils at 56 degrees Celsius and water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. When the temperature crosses 56 degrees Celsius, acetone gets vaporized. The vapors of acetone are passed through this condenser. This condenser cools the vapors and the acetone changes to liquid state and is collected in this container. Water remains in the distillation flask. Next, another method of separation of two miscible liquids is fractional distillation. The fractional distillation is similar to distillation except the fact that this method uses a fractionating column which provides various surfaces to condense the vapors of various components of the mixture at different temperatures. What is it? It provides different surfaces for the condensation of various components which have different boiling points. The liquid components with a difference in the boiling points less than 25 degrees Celsius can also be separated by this method. The simple distillation or normal distillation is not useful in separating the components of a mixture which have a difference in the boiling point less than 25 degrees Celsius. For this kind of liquids, the fractional distillation is useful. A fractionating column is connected to the distillation flask in this fractional distillation. A mixture of ethyl alcohol with boiling point 78 degrees Celsius and water with boiling point 100 degrees Celsius can be separated by fractional distillation. Here the difference in boiling points is only 22 degrees Celsius. So water cannot be separated easily from ethyl alcohol by using simple distillation, but fractional distillation can be used to separate ethyl alcohol from water. The fractional distillation is shown here. This is the distillation flask which contains a mixture of ethyl alcohol and water. Not acetone, ethyl alcohol and water. When this mixture is heated, ethyl alcohol boils at 78 degrees Celsius. At 78 degrees Celsius, considerable amount of water also boils. The vapors contain the vapors of ethyl alcohol along with vapors of water. But when the water vapor rises to these surfaces, at these surfaces, the water condenses and drops down to the flask. Only ethyl alcohol vapors reach the condenser, and in this condenser ethyl alcohol changes to liquid state and is collected in the flask. The different components of crude oil such as petrol, diesel, kerosene, etc. can be separated by using fractional distillation method. from petroleum. Petroleum is heated to a temperature more than 400 degrees Celsius. At that temperature, all the components of petroleum change to vapor state. The vapors of petroleum are allowed to pass through the fractionating tower from bottom to top. When we move from bottom to top, the temperature gradually decreases. The components of higher boiling points condense first, whereas the components of lower boiling points move up. When they reach certain surfaces at particular temperatures, the corresponding substances in the mixture condense at that surfaces and are separated out through separate outlets. So the various components of petroleum like the LPG, which contains butane and propane, petrol, kerosene, diesel, fuel oil, etc. are separated from crude oil, that is petroleum. The fuel oil condenses at the temperature 370 degrees Celsius, diesel condenses at 300 degrees Celsius, kerosene condenses at 200 degrees Celsius, petrol vapors condense at 150 degrees Celsius. At 20 degrees Celsius, that is at the topmost position of the fractionating tower, the butane and propane remain in the gaseous state, and these gases are collected separately and are stored in cylinder under high pressure. At high pressure, these gases change to liquid state. We are calling it as liquefied petroleum gas. In this way, the fractional distillation method is used in separating the various components of petroleum. These are the various methods of separation of mixes. Thank you.